Hello, my name is Rick.
Ciao, my name is Millie.
And this is episode 31
31
of season 3
of
Yonks
Ago.
Ooh, that might have been too loud. Nah, never too loud. This is Yonks Ago, coming into your ears. Now what are yonks? They're kinda like years. Just a father and a daughter who want to know all about some people from Yonks Ago. Interesting people who did interesting stuff, but about whom we don't know enough. So we're gonna dig deep and find it all out. Yonky doodlers know what we're all about. Yonks Ago, hey ho, hey, Yonks Ago, hey ho, hey, surely. Oh, holy moly.
What was that?
I don't know, but we're back. Episode 31. We've got through... I'm using a new computer, full disclosure, and I needed a bit of tech help from my daughter Millie here.
Easy one.
Just to get me through. Now that I'm running on a Mac, Millie's all Mac all day.
Yeah.
She's got the Mac attack. But I'm a bit Mac newbie, Mac beginner, Mac novice.
Yeah. I like that one.
So I needed a bit of advice on how to, keep things running in a slick and, easily accessible way.
Yeah.
Millie had all the answers.
Yeah, he was getting a bit frustrated, and I was like, "It's okay, you just do this." And now we're fine.
Look at us go. What I will do is I'll just check that our sound levels are good.
Do it
now, because hey, why wait? Alrighty, we've just done a quick sound check. Despite neither of us being qualified audio engineers, we have decided that the sound quality is fine.
Yeah, it's decent.
Everything is. Did you say "dece" as in short for decent?
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it, but I guess I better get on board.
It's funny because one time I was watching a show and this British dude was like, "We want to be dece," and so now it's in there, and I think it's pretty funny.
Are you sort of saying it ironically, but in a way that it's just going to become something you say?
Yeah.
It's so bad it's funny.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll allow it on that level, but I do know it'll creep into my brain, and then I'll start saying it. I'll be so angry with myself.
What can you do?
I don't know, because it's one of those words where it feels like it's actually harder to say, to stop saying the full word. Like the full word flows nicely. Decent.
Yeah, it's a nice word.
Yeah. Like it's just, the end of the word feels like it naturally belongs there.
Yeah.
So to stop yourself, it's almost harder.
Yeah.
And so in terms of shortening a word, why make your life difficult?
Oh, see, the only context where I would do it is if I was if I said the whole thing and I put on a British accent.
Oh, so you need to be in full character.
But just then I did it because it just crept into my brain.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So this is the beginning.
Yeah.
You heard it here on episode 31 of Yonks Ago.
Yeah.
Millie's descent into dece. But don't shorten
Dece nuts. Sorry.
Dece. So there's decent and there's descent. So don't start saying des.
Why would you shorten descent?
Exactly.
We're going to start our des.
I mean, it's no more foolish than shortening decent.
No, because that makes...
Where do you draw the line?
Oh, yeah. I feel like dece makes more sense. You're always shortening those types of words.
Thank you for joining us on flight 975. We're going to begin our des into Melbourne. We're going to begin our des into Melb. We're going to beg our des into Melb. I mean, it makes sense in its own way, doesn't it?
No, I feel like that actually it's starting to grow on me.
I know. The more I let into it, the more like, they may as well. Because your brain figures out what they're trying to say.
Yeah.
How much time has the pilot saved where he can be focused on the skies?
Exactly.
So if you are on a plane and you do hear people start saying, "We're going to beg our des into Melb," you can thank us.
Beg our des.
We're going to beg our des.
This is probably in 100 years, every single word will just be a shortened form of how we speak now.
One syllable, one syll, or get out. Luckily, our podcast is ready to go.
Our pod?
Yonks Ago.
Yeah.
The pod is good to go.
Yeah.
Yonks Ago. Yonks. We're going to have to turn it into a three-word podcast. Yonks Go.
Okay, we could do that.
Although-
hyphenated. Does that
almost-
still count as one word?
I don't mind Yonksa. Gonna put on an epi
What
Yonksa.
about just Yonks Go?
I reckon Yonks is better than Yonks Go. Yonksa flows off the tongue.
Yeah, Yonksa.
Yonks Go hurts my mind.
But that kind of sounds like Yonksa is one word. So,
I don't mind. That's for the people to be pleasantly surprised. When
it's
they're
two
like,
syllables.
I thought Yonksa was one word.
No, 2 syllables.
I guess.
So
So
they
then they'll
wouldn't
short
have
Yonks to Yonks, which also works. Pop on an app of the pod Yonks. Everyone.
I'd listen.
Ev's a win. That was short for everyone's a winner.
No, now that I'm thinking about it, that works. And that sounds good.
Ev's a win.
That could be like a classic Australian saying, like, I went over to Aussie.
I went to RC and they were saying Ev's a win. And I was like, what are you talking about? And they're like, short for everyone's a winner. No worries.
And then I was like, what's a winner? Winner.
You're right. So look, we're on the forefront of language evolution right now.
Yeah.
Because when you're on a flight, Ev's a win when you peg the des into Melb.
That sounds really good. I'm on board. One syllable
You're
word.
on board the flight and you're on board this whole one syll devolution. The dev into one syll is...
the dev of the lang.
the dev of the lang into one syll is what we are all about. Leave it with me.
I think some words we just got to erase completely and make up new words.
No, I reckon they'll find their natural like about. I could almost see it going to abs. That's what we're abs, mate.
Oh, facts. Yeah.
Anyway, you know who wasn't doing this? Don Bradman.
No.
He liked language as it was.
He was all for the 3 syllables.
He feared change. Don Bradman. That's 3 syllables. It's 2 words. It's 3 syllables across 2 words.
Yeah.
But I feel like that made him pretty.
Everyone called him Donny, anyways.
Yeah.
So really, that's more syllables.
Actually, he was at the forefront because you know what they called him? The Don.
Oh,
2 1-syllable words.
yeah.
His name was Donald Bradman, but he was known as the Don.
Yeah.
He was getting shortened to 1 syllable before anyone even thought it was a cool thing.
Damn.
Oh, Don B. I can't call you Donny B anymore, unfortunately. I have to call you the Don in honor of our newfound strategy. It will hurt my brain if I continue to try to shorten all of my words to 1 syllable. So we'll play it by ear, but I'm not gonna make it a rule.
It will be way easier in 100 years when it's the norm.
in a hun. Doesn't matter.
Can't really do numbers, can you? Because they keep getting bigger.
What I'm saying is there's a lot of things that need to be workshopped. But once, in 100 years, they'll have a filter where you can put old podcast episodes through the syllable filter.
Yeah.
Through the syll-fill. And it'll just condense all of the podcasts into the 1-syllable words that you want it to be when you're 100 years in the future.
Yeah.
Which we are, because we lived a long time. Because of medical science.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Or
science.
not. Because of
of
climate change.
everything else.
Yeah. Climate change.
because of the climate change. Some 1-syllable words.
Some 1-syllable words are really long.
Yeah, you're like, they've squeezed a lot of mouth into 1 syllable.
What's
like
that?
change.
Well,
Takes you on a journey.
The word crisp, you start it at the back of your
Yeah.
mouth and it goes forward.
Yeah.
So it feels like you're going on a journey.
Yeah, and so change feels the same.
Yeah.
Where you've got the chunky start and the chunky end.
That sounds like you're starting here at the front and you're going back and then you end at the front.
Yeah.
Change.
It's a real mouth journey for 1 syllable.
Yeah.
Unusual. So they're going to be interesting words in the future of the 1 syll.
Yeah.
I think some words will have more status.
Yeah.
'Cause, like,
More
even
stat.
even though they fit within the 1 syll rule, they take your mouth on a journey that most 1 syll words don't.
Yeah.
Well. Takes you on a journey, almost feels like you're on a flight and you're going to beg your desk. Anyway, the Don. The fallout from the Bodyline series, which we've just finished talking about in recent episodes. England won the series 4-1 thanks to Jardine's rock solid bodyline captaincy.
Yeah.
And Larwood's unbelievably fierce bowling. And look, people tried, but they failed to conquer them. Jardine's dictatorial approach, outstanding strategic and tactical skill, and obsessive hate of the Don had engineered an unimagined outcome for the visitors. So he had the triple. He had the three pillars of success. He was a dictator. It was his way or the highway. He had the strat, unbelievable strat, and he hated the Don.
Yeah.
Those three things propelled them to series victory.
Trifecta.
It was a trivecta. He was the trivecta.
Ooh.
The trifecta made him the trivecta. So hats off to Jardine. Everyone, even though by the end of it, everyone hated his guts.
Yeah. Bit of a villain.
And we say the Don failed because he didn't help Australia to victory.
Because he did.
He did fail, but his average for the series of 56.57 was better than any main batsman in the series on either side.
Okay.
So he had the best batting average, and an average of 56.57 would not be sneezed at today. But by his standards, pitiful.
Yeah. Terrible.
Yeah. Why bother? You've let yourself down, you've let the country down, you've let your wife down.
Yeah.
You've
Does he have a wife now?
remember he got married and they went on that honeymoon?
Yeah.
To America?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Yeah.
But can we remember her name? I feel like it was
Rebecca? No.
no, we really should, but this sums up.
Wasn't it kind of like a male sounding name?
I don't know. I feel like it was like a Jenny or a Jennifer or a
Yeah,
Janine.
that sounds right.
I feel like she was coming up in the story, so let me see if I can just quickly, without pausing the podcast,
Whoa, in life.
can I find a way to get the information I need? Jessie, you were right.
Yeah, I knew it was like a gender neutral name.
I was close with the J, Jenny, and you had the gender neutrality.
What did I guess first? Rebecca.
Rebecca. Jessie, Rebecca. I can see how they're in the same wheelhouse. Like they don't get along and they look completely different.
Yeah.
But they've been to the same wheelhouse.
I think I was thinking of Rebecca McBean.
from another podcast.
Crossover. Yeah.
Look, Yonky Doodlers, if you are not a listener, if you don't listen to my other podcast, how about this? You're missing out. Get on board. There's not enough Millie in the podcast for my liking, but she pops up from time to time.
Yeah.
A theme song here, or some content.
Special mention.
Yeah, special mentions. I'm always talking about Millie did this. Oh,
Yeah.
Millie did that. That sort of stuff. It's good stuff. So look, if you like the vibe of Yonks Ago, you'll probably also enjoy. How about this?
Yeah.
Get onto it.
All one syllables.
But you will need to listen to about 390 episodes roughly to get the Rebecca
364.
to get the Rebecca McBean reference, because I can't tell you exactly what episodes she appears in, but it's quite a few.
Yeah.
She gets a decent mention, but I guess for
A decent man?
she gets a decent man, but for full context, for full con, you probably I couldn't give you what episode, so
No.
listen to them all. That's my advice to you.
Yeah, me too.
Get stuck in. Oh, it's worth the journey.
Yeah.
It's hella worth the journey. But now that I've gone to find Jessie's name, I've lost where I am. But now I found it again. Look, he bounced back. I'm on the bounce back. So look, we're just wrapping up the Bodyline. Look, Bradman failed, but only by his own standards. He was basically, by anyone else's standards, a roaring success. Nevertheless, so his average, was about half as good as his normal average. That's why it felt like a failure.
Not a PB.
And I guess the team was relying on him to be his normal run-scoring self, and he was only just a better than most people, not unbelievably better than most people.
Yeah.
So shame on you, Don Bradman. Take a good, long, hard look at yourself. And so there was now Bradman's view of Bodyline. He warned, after Bodyline series, Bradman warned that it would lead to each side stacking their team with speed merchants, hell-bent on breaking ribs on a bad day.
Oh, dear.
And breaking heads on a good one. And he said, while this brought spectators to the game for the 1932-33 Bodyline series, in time attendances would dwindle shot making, such as, driving, cutting, glancing. A whole range of shots would be phased out of the game, and only the hook and the pull shot would be left, unless players were, at Bradman level where they could occasionally, jump around and play other shots. But mostly the game would descend into a very boring, homogenous, one-sided battle. And furthermore, Bodyline was already being introduced and copied at lower levels of the game.
Oh, dear.
Which was resulting in injuries across the board. So that's bad news for your youngsters out there. I mean, suck it up, kids.
Just toughens them up, really.
It does. If you can't handle the Bodyline, you can't handle cricket. So no other player at test level had Bradman's speed or reflexes to avoid being struck. This meant that batsmen at lower levels of the game were getting struck sooner, would get struck sooner or later by a halfway accurate or moderate Bodyline bowler. All right, so they're starting to worry. In February 1933, the MCC were stuck between a rock and a hard place, you see, because they sort of agreed that Bodyline was not good for the game of cricket, but they backed Douglas Jardine.
Yeah.
And it had succeeded. They'd won the series. They'd gotten the better of Don Bradman, which was their whole plan, and they'd supported it. So now the MCC, who was the home of cricket, the home of the spirit and the rules of cricket, were like, we really kind of want to outlaw Bodyline, but that would be throwing our man Jardine under the bus and saying you're a dirty dog.
Hypocrisy. Surely they were just being like, this is the whatever.
Yeah. So they're starting to get a little bit, what are we going to do? And the celebrations had turned sour for Jardine even before he and the team returned home, when one high-ranking, high-profile supporter of the team, F.R. Foster, the Foz, who had been consulted on fast leg theory before the Australian tour, he attacked the England captain, writing in a newspaper, Douglas Jardine, I am ashamed of England's win.
So am I.
Ashamed. Foster told the media, I will face you on your return with these words on my lips. So they're throwing the word shame at Jardine. He's on the ship home thinking, what a reception am I going to get when I get home?
Notice how these dudes are only getting mad, only getting a little bit sus at Bodyline after they win.
Yeah, all quiet on the English front while it's happening. Everyone a bit of shush until we win.
Yeah.
And then say what you like. But until then, it's working. So let's let it play out and then we'll assess it afterwards. And now they're all piling on. And Foster's the first. The Foz is the first to kick off with shame, Jardine, shame, says he. And so Foster disassociated himself from Bodyline and was incensed with being linked with it after his successful tour of Australia in 1911 and 12. So he obviously had a history of going there and applying a watered-down version of Bodyline, which was within the spirit of the game. So this was Bodyline was fast leg theory taken to the stupid level. Yeah. To the max.
Yeah.
Kind of like us when we got stuck on one-syllable words.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good in theory, good in moderation, but possibly, we'll see 100 years from now.
Yeah.
Who can tell?
We're just foreshadowing.
So Bodyline was about to become a serious issue for the MCC and the home of cricket. So this is so this is the fallout, I guess, from Bodyline. After the 1930s, so after the Bodyline series, the Board of Control kept the pressure on the MCC to have Bodyline outlawed by giving umpires the power to take action against bowlers who resorted to it. So umpires could step in and say, hey, what's going on here?
Unless they're bribing the umps.
Who wouldn't bribe an ump or two?
Be like, let me do Bodyline.
Yeah, give me a little. I'm not aiming at the body. I'm a bad bowler. I was aiming over there. It keeps going at the body. Oh, I curse my poor bowling. So the MCC, so they want the MCC to dilute it. As I said, they're in a dilemma because they'd appointed Jardine, backed his methods. It had worked. Now the pressure mounted in June when the governor of South Australia, his name, Sir Alexander Hore Ruthven.
Woo!
That's a action-packed name. There's a lot going on. There's hyphens. Sir Alexander Hore Ruthven. Hore-Ruthven.
Damn.
He wrote to the British Secretary for the Dominions. Don't know what that means.
Neither.
James Thomas. Simple name.
Yeah.
Jimmy Thomas. Nah, it's got to be James Thomas. Jimmy Thomas doesn't roll off the tongue. So Alexander Hore Ruthven, with his extravagant names, writing a letter to the British Secretary James Thomas.
Different ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Just like you and me, Dad.
About the Australian side and the feelings and the issues in Australia, and he wrote that that feeling rankles even to the extent of a reluctance to buy English goods. Businessmen inform me it is going on to a certain extent in this city of Adelaide today. So he's written to England saying people aren't buying English stuff now because this whole Bodyline thing has gotten under their skin. Anything English is cursed. Thanks, because you're doing nothing about this Bodyline. Ban Bodyline or say goodbye to all your overseas Australian sales.
So true.
All right, so they're pulling they're hitting them in the hip pocket. Because if you're not going to listen to logic, to the spirit of the game, you're ruining cricket. They don't care. They just want to win. But if you say, hey, you're not going to make any money anymore, all of a sudden England's like, what's going on here? So James Thomas shows that letter to the British government, to a cabinet colleague, Lord Hailsham. So he brought in someone with a more extravagant name. James Thomas is like, I don't have the name to deal with this whole situation. I'm no Hore Ruthven. I need someone who's got a little more syllables going on than me. So this is back in the day when syllables were respected. Not like the future.
Yeah.
So Lord Hailsham,
Woo!
he showed it to him, and he showed it to the MCC's president. So starting to get some traction. And then this on top of the fact the West Indies cricket team toured England then, and they used Bodyline against England.
Sucks.
See, England hadn't had to face Bodyline because Australia had painted themselves into a corner where they couldn't use Bodyline unless they felt like hypocrites. But West Indies are like, this seems like a good plan to me.
Yeah, whatever.
We're coming to England. Let's give it a crack.
Yeah.
So now England get a little taste of their own medicine in their own country.
Sucks to suck.
And so Jardine is the captain of this team. This is the first time he's had to face Bodyline. So the two bowlers, Constantine and Griffith, the West Indian bowlers, they were not at Larwood levels of skill and venom. But they did give the England batsmen an absolute pummeling in the second test at Manchester. Several players were bruised. And Hammond had his chin split open. So he copped a ball to the chin, blood everywhere.
Gotta dodge those ones.
He was so upset that he said he would retire from first-class cricket if Bodyline was not stopped. Oh, well, here we go.
Yeah.
Now the English cricketers are like, well, I see what the Australians were saying. This is a bunch of nonsense. Don't like it. Jardine, however, the face of Bodyline, he came in, batted gutsily, made 127 runs. So what's so bad about Bodyline?
Yeah.
Suck it up. Just score runs against it. So well done, Jardine, because there's a lot of pressure on him.
Yeah.
Because if he gets absolutely towed up by Bodyline, he's going to look pretty stupid.
That'd be a bit funny, though.
Yeah, I know. And I bet a lot of people wanted him to get absolutely smacked in the face by Bodyline.
Like, see?
Yeah, and be like, well, this is what we're trying to tell you, buddy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he probably batted better than he ever has and made a ton of runs. And everyone's like, oh, maybe we just need to be a bit more bat like Jardine. And not like Don Bradman. But nevertheless, he could not fight back. He couldn't fight back hard with it because Larwood was injured because he had not recovered from his breakdown in Australia when he'd been forced to bowl on his bleeding feet by Jardine.
He's got no feet left.
He's got no feet. He's running in on stumps. Little stubs. Little nubs. That's the word I'm looking for. Little bloody nubs he was running in on. And his feet haven't grown back.
No.
So he's not there bowling for England. And so it's a little bit easy. So this whole thing is opening the English eyes about Bodyline and forcing the issue and making the MCC have a good, long, hard think about it. Bradman, in the meantime, spent the Australian winter of 1933 attempting to keep fit,
Oh, yeah.
despite intermittent abdominal pains and dispiriting languor.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Is he pregnant?
It sounds like he might be pregnant. This dispiriting languor had dogged him since before the Bodyline series. Doctors were mystified and could only prescribe relaxation. Just like chill, Donny, chill,
Yeah.
Donny, chill.
Maybe he just got a little bit of anxiety.
It feels like that's what it was.
Yeah.
He's a bit down.
Yeah.
He's a bit depressed. He's got a touch of the sads. It is winter, so maybe he's got
Seasonal depression.
Seasonals, yeah. I mean,
Come on. Winter's a hard time.
let me just absolutely double check. All right. Hey, Siri. Siri's not playing ball with me. I've got to find out what dispiriting languor is, but I've got to type it in like some sort. See, this is where these long syllabled words.
Wait, here. I'll get my Siri. What is it? What's the word?
Dispiriting languor.
Siri, what does dispiriting languor mean?
Here's what I found.
Here's what I found.
She didn't.
Nah. What
Oh,
does-
I found it. Something that is dispiriting
Mm-hmm.
causes you to lose your enthusiasm and excitement.
Yeah, no, I got that. What's languor though? What's
Yeah,
languor?
it doesn't. It's not giving me anything on languor.
Ooh, languor.
Well, Siri didn't.
All right, I'm just going to figure out 100% what languor means, and I'm not going to take no for an answer. I'm almost there. I've finished my typing. Languor, tiredness or inactivity, especially when pleasurable. What? That's
So
weird.
he's
He's
like,
exhausted.
yeah.
Yeah, he's just got. Yeah, he's absolutely spent. Is the general gist of it.
Emotionally and physically.
Yes. And he's just turning 25
Oh, just
with a solid year of cricket possibly in front of him. In August of that year.
that's when he's birthed. Isn't it?
Yeah. So he must have been about to turn 25 or just turned 25. He taxed his mind rather than his body by sitting for and passing an examination on the laws of cricket set by the New South Wales Umpires Association.
Oh,
So he's just gone, test me.
it's because he's a Virgo.
Yeah, he's just test me. I want to know how much do I know about cricket?
Yeah.
I know heaps. His keenness on the laws and the betterment of the game had seen him earlier in the year at the height of the Bodyline crisis write to the MCC, humbly suggesting a different rule change, unrelated to Bodyline.
Is he suggesting a rule change?
Yeah, he's just said to the MCC, what about if when a batter uses their pads against the ball, pitched outside the line of off stump, it should be judged LBW if, in the umpire's opinion, the ball was going to hit the wicket. So that is...
What? Did he just invent LBW?
No, I think it's a tightening of the LBW rules, because I think it's when... If a batter isn't offering a shot, when they just use their pad instead of their bat, it used to be if the ball was outside the line of the stump, you couldn't be out LBW even if it looked like it was going to hit the stump.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
It had to be in line with the stump
Yeah.
when it hit your pad and going on to hit the
Oh, yeah.
and going on to hit the stump,
Yeah,
which is
I
what it
see.
is when you're offering a shot.
Yeah.
I think still to this day. But so it's got to hit in line and be hitting the stumps.
Yeah.
Or something along those lines. But he was saying if they're not offering a shot, what if it doesn't matter where the ball hits the pad? If you
see.
think that ball was going to go on to hit the stumps, it should still be out.
I see.
Because they're not using their bat.
Because in Bodyline, do they not hit it in line? Do they not?
I think this had nothing to do with Bodyline. Yeah, as I was saying, this had nothing to do with Bodyline.
He was just okay.
thinking about LBW, thinking, I hate it when batters don't use their bats.
I see.
And the fact that as soon as they see that the ball's outside the line of the stumps,
That makes sense.
They just kick it away with their pads.
Yeah.
And they're like, whatever.
That
Doesn't even
makes
matter.
sense.
Even if the ball
yeah,
was going...
you should be penalised for that.
Yeah, and that's what
You
Donny
can't-
B thought.
You can't just put your leg there.
Yes.
So facts, I agree.
Yes. Such a law would not have been in the interests of batsmen, which he was one.
Yeah.
But made for better and brighter cricket, as it would have forced batters to play to use their bat to play the ball.
Yeah.
It was several decades before this advice was belatedly heeded and such a rule was introduced. But it was. He got that rule changed, and the game's better for it.
Slade.
So well done, Don Bradman. And also, I mean, smooth move, sending suggestions to the MCC about rule changes.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of Bodyline. Nothing to do with Bodyline.
Especially like hindering your ability as a batsman.
I know. It's like selfless.
Yeah.
He just wanted the game to be a better game.
Yeah.
Well, this is the first time in a long time where I'm like, good work, Don Bradman.
Yeah.
The Don. He's put his own ambitions aside.
Yeah.
And he said this game needs to be about bat versus ball, not pad versus ball.
So true.
Yeah.
And I've always said that.
Yeah. So he's got that done. He's been testing his mind. He's interested in the laws of cricket.
Aren't we all?
And he's unwell. In the midst of all this, he's struggling. There's a lot of cricket on the horizon, and he was periodically unwell through the domestic season, which made his busy cricket schedule and 3 areas of work very demanding. What was his 3 areas of work?
Goodness.
I think all media stuff and probably one sports store that he worked at, if I know Don.
Loves a sports store.
Yes. It was very demanding. Jessie, his wife, eased the strain in her role as wife, nurse and assistant. He was fortunate to have such a strong and loving companion. Absolutely he was.
Yes.
Jessie even drafted his writing. Hang on a second. Jessie even drafted his writing and broadcast material. She recalled, I would take notes at the matches. That meant Don wouldn't have to worry about it while he was playing. Sounds like Jessie was doing a lot of the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
I think the Don's like, I feel so, my guts. Oh, Jessie, could you, I need someone to take notes on this game, Jessie.
It's giving the emotional labour of Jessie.
Jessie, can you write this essay for me, Jessie? The Don. So I'm starting to suspect that a lot of the work that Don got credit for was Jessie through and through.
Yeah.
100% Jessie certified trademark, no looksy backsies. Justice for Jessie.
Yeah.
Justice. Hashtag justice. How much? Yeah, like how? It sounds like she was doing the bulk, and he would just sign his name at the bottom of it from Don Bradman after she drafted the whole thing.
Yeah.
Nuts. So let's get on board. We need a wave, a get up campaign. Hashtag justice. But they were both much relieved to see the contracts with the newspapers and the radio stations come to an end in early 1934. What's he going to do with himself? I think the whole pressure cooker environment of living in Sydney and being Don Bradman was getting the better of the Don.
Yeah.
And you know, obviously his dispiriting languor was taking its toll.
Yeah.
And then a solution to his problems appeared when a member of the Board of Control, Harry Hodgetts.
That's some nice alliteration.
You got to trust Harry Hodgetts. Anything he'd suggest, I'd be like, all right.
So true.
I'm on board, Harry Hodgetts. He offered Don a career in stockbroking. Hello. Buy, sell.
Yeah.
And it would give Bradman the opportunity to test his skills in the field of facts and figures, which he loves. We know he loves a fact and a figure, which was something he'd always been interested in. And Harry Hodgetts was a broker in Adelaide, which meant that the Bradmans would have to move to Adelaide.
Let's go.
So that means he's going to get out of Sydney, which he's not enjoying because that's the epicenter of, you know, the pressure cooker environment. It's like being an AFL footballer in Melbourne, and they often like to move to, if they don't enjoy being in the goldfish bowl of the media attention, they go to, like when Buddy Franklin moved to Sydney.
Oh, I remember that well.
Yeah, I know. You loved it.
Yeah. My favourite day in history.
And it was good for him because he was no longer in the pressure cooker environment.
Yeah, he didn't have dispiriting languor
His
anymore.
dispiriting languor cleared right up. The dislang, gone. No dislang for the bud no more. And so everything's shaping up. The Bradmans are moving to Adelaide so he can become a stockbroker, but mostly, a cricketer with a little bit of stockbroker, a little bit of buy, sell on the side. Every now and then he'll just walk past the stockbroking firm and go, buy. and then that's it. That's his day done.
Yeah.
Sell. Or he's like, look, if in this game I make an even number of runs, buy. If I make an odd number of runs, sell. If I get bowled, double buy.
What was... Nah, I had one thought, but it wasn't like a full thought.
Oh.
So don't worry about it.
Okie dokie. And so, look, I think that's all the time we've got for this episode. We've done well.
I think we have done
We've covered
well.
some ground. We've discovered Jessie did a lot of work for the Don. Unheralded, and now they're on the move to Sydney, from Sydney to Adelaide, which means the Don is no longer going to be a New South Wales cricket player. No. He's going to be a South Australian cricket player.
South Aussie.
How happy would the South Australians be?
Yeah.
Oh, we're getting a new bloke into our team. Oh, who? His name's Bradman. Don. Have you heard of him? Don Bradman. Have you heard of him? I hear he's pretty good. But imagine if you were if you batted in the batting spot that the Dom batted in. You'd be like, I love batting number 3 for South Australia. Who are they getting in? Don Bradman.
Oh dear.
But you take it.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
He's going to buy, sell. It's going to be awesome. So look, we'll leave it there. We'll check back in with the Bradmans move to Adelaide in the next episode of Yonks Ago. I did not muck around.
Just straight to it.
Mate, sometimes you just got to hit them. Just an ambush ending.
Just like one syllable words.
Yep.